Hello and welcome back to Feed the Beast. Actually, it's not Feed the Beast, it's Technical Tales. Welcome back to Technical Tales. Sorry, getting confused here. So now that I've got an XP spawner up there, you know, I'm okay for enchanting stuff now. So I need, well, I don't need, but I want to work out my power supply properly before I proceed with the final stage of what's going to happen with that thing up there. Which is that I want it to become an auto-enchanter. I want, essentially, anytime anyone's running it, it will be enchanting books for me. So I can get a nice large library of enchantments that I can use for myself and give to people and so on and so forth. Now, power-wise, as I said, I want to go with steam engines and so on. But a steam boiler is pretty big. Well, it's a 3x3 area and goes up quite a bit. So that's going to really crowd this room. So I want to expand already. So I think the best thing will be if I expand out behind that wall there, perhaps, just for now. So I'll pick these up. And I've got my wand. So that lets me dig out the wall. Like so. And I don't want to have to dig out all this space, you know, on my own. So I'm going to grab something I think I've got in here still. The filler. I need some redstone energy cubes. So turn my storage system on. Alright, redstone energy cubes. I've still got some power in that one. I've got a fully charged one there, so that's going to have to last me for now. And I just need some normal glass. No, normal glass, I said. Any sand? Yes, plenty of sand. It's because I emptied all my chests in here, didn't I? My barrels of stuff. So, with the power system on right now, I can make myself some glass here in the induction furnace. That'll speed up once it heats up a bit. So with the filler and that, I also need the markers. So I'm going to do something which is very similar to what I did with the filler when I was making the glass cage up there. In that I'm going to mark out an area for it. So we'll put one marker there. There will be one there. One here. And I just need to dig back that way, whatever the width of the room is meant to be. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it wants to be another 9 plus 1 for the actual wall. So that will be 10 in total. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, let's just double check this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I thought I was going to go 10. Let's move this back one more, just in case. Right, and then I right-hand click that one, and that makes our framework. Drop the filler down. Power, and now I need some of that glass. Turn that off, otherwise it's a drain on power. Actually, it might not be, because that's actually now a switch on my actual master. On the master power output. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. It's a good habit. Right, and if I give this now the pattern of just solid glass... I don't know why I find sometimes it doesn't work if you don't give it any resources there. So this is now draining power, so this is basically clearing the space. That's what filling it with glass tells it to do. So this stuff here should be vanishing. Let's put that to maximum output. There we go. Now it's actually got all the energy it needs. Now the only thing with this method is these blocks despawn very quickly. So in general you don't get the blocks. That was to prevent people from using it as a cheaty way of mining. It was also causing massive lag, I assume, on servers. Oh, the only thing I forgot is I should have gone down one level as well. But that's okay. We grab our crescent hammer, pick everything up again. I'll lower the floor one, get rid of that, and line this with the blocks, because I made a load of extra ones. And as if by magic, the room gets bigger. Well, it wasn't magic. Well, there was magic involved, because these are magic blocks, but I did all this manually. So, I've only extended down here. I think I want this room up here to remain this size. It's going to have sort of inventory interface and crafting stuff. Eventually all the machinery in that's going to be moved down here, because I'll expand this room that way and that way as well. And then I might, so it's like a T shape, and then if I need even more room, I can just sort of square out the corners and just make it a great big massive room where everything will fit. So, I'm going with a low pressure boiler. Now, low pressure boilers do not produce as much steam as the high pressure boiler, but I'm actually in two minds on this. The advantage of the low pressure boiler is it doesn't take as long to get up to temperature and doesn't use as much fuel as it's getting up to temperature. But the high pressure boiler produces more steam, and apparently once it's at temperature, then it's as fuel efficient as the low pressure boiler. I do have a lot of blaze rods, but I'm not sure, I want to leave this system on all the time, because basically I would then need an almost continuous forever supply of blaze rods, and I might not get that. I'll start with a low pressure boiler, and then I will, and I can always upgrade it later if it turns out I do have enough blaze rods that, I'll be just there happy and dandy forever. So, we need stuff. But before we get stuff, we need to get rid of stuff, because this is a full inventory, and that just annoys me. Okay. So, boilers, they consist of two different parts. You've got a firebox, which can be anywhere from a single firebox up to a 3x3. So I'm going to go with a 3x3 firebox, because I may as well make this thing as big as it can possibly be. Oh no, that's annoying. It's picking up the word firebox that's in there, which says how much heat things produce. That makes it a little tricky to spot the actual firebox itself. Okay, we're looking for something that's a machine. Okay, solid fueled firebox, liquid fueled firebox. Well, blaze rods are a solid fuel, so we need 9 of these things. Furnaces are easy. I've got plenty of bricks. What are fire charges? Oh, blaze powder. Blaze powder, coal. Oh, and gunpowder. Ah, that's a little tricky. I just cooked the last of my gunpowder into sulfur. Can I make gunpowder? That is the Nesquik. Solid fuel, that coal. If I had saltpeter, I could make it out of sulfur, charcoal. I don't have any saltpeter though. Sulfur, niter, charcoal. I don't have any niter either. Oh, I just Oh no, that's saltpeter. I thought that was sand there for a moment. Okay. I need gunpowder. How much gunpowder do I need? Solid fuel box. I need 9 gunpowder. Oh, aggravating. Let's see whether anyone on the server might have some that I can borrow. Anyone have 9 gunpowder that I can have? Can save time. I mean, otherwise I'll just have to go out hunting creepers and stuff. I'm curious where that thing's getting its power from. It's probably getting it from the bat box that's there. So that will slowly tick away and lose power, but I don't think it's getting it from here at all, because this thing's set to not output power while that switch up there is switched. Okay, 9 fireboxes. Now, fireboxes need to be supplied with the fuel and with water. Now, I've got plenty of room here, so let's put it down like this. That way I've got a bit of room to run some piping around the back if I want to. Right, now the other thing it needs is something to do with boilers. Solar boiler, low pressure boiler. So there's different types. There's high pressure boilers, which are made with steel plate, and low pressure boilers are made with iron plate. And I can build that up to 4 high. So this is already 9, 18, so it'll be 36. Okay, 36 low pressure boilers. So as far as I know, I just put these on top solid. Oops. It's going to keep forming itself as I go up. Right, if I shift right-hand click, I can add another layer. There we go. You can see why I expanded now, can't you? So this thing needs fuel, it needs water. Okay, so for the water, an aqueous accumulator should provide plenty. Aqueous accumulator, and I've got some liquiducts. Liquiducts. Now what I don't have is any. Well, I've got buckets, but I don't have any buckets full of water, and I need 2 water source blocks, don't I? So we're going to have to go on a quick water hunt. Chaos Star. This is daytime. Still got to be careful of creepers, though. I've got too many sheep in there. Right. Should probably actually make myself like an infinite water source somewhere. Oh, why did I go out there? I've got one. What's that, dopey? Anyway. Volcano lair. Alright, so I think there's enough room under here that I can put the aqueous accumulator down. We'll just feed it direct into the center of there. Actually, let's shove this all the way back on the basis that I might want to put some other pipes down here going in or out. What I'm trying to do here is make somewhere that's going to hold the water and the aqueous accumulator. So aqueous accumulator, water and water, a liquiduct, not going to work. Or will it? No, it does work, okay. Normally with these things you've got to tell it that that it's an output pipe, and once it's an output pipe it won't input into something else next to it, but for something like the accuracy accumulator that works fine. That should keep that thing in water. And give it fuel, and it will start to build up the steam. I'm pretty certain that there's no danger of this thing exploding from the actual steam, but can you see how that thing is eating those things so quickly? I mean, they are not lasting long at all. It's because I've made that so big. So even though this is a low pressure boiler, this is still going to take quite a lot of fuel to get up to temperature, because I've given it so much water. Right, so what do I do with the steam this thing's producing? That's a very interesting question. Should I actually work on keeping it supplied with blaze rods first? I think I do. Now, I've got this. Oops, did not mean to actually pick up more, although now I have, I may as well throw them into the furnace. Basically, this thing will eat fuel like nobody's business until it gets up to temperature. But once it gets up to temperature, then it starts to burn the fuel nice and slowly and efficiently, just to sort of keep everything ticking over. Right, so I'm going to actually, I don't want to reboot brain, initialize mouth. I'm going to use the applied energistics as the method of keeping this thing filled, because if I use an ME export bus, I can tell it that I want this thing kept full of blaze rods, and basically it'll just keep stuffing in blaze rods for as long as it can take them from the ME network system. But I don't want to store these blaze rods actually in the system. And the reason why is because there's going to be an awful lot of these blaze rods, and it's just going to use up all my storage space. So I'm going to use another applied energistics device called an ME storage bus. Now what the ME storage bus will allow me to do is to plug a connector onto this barrel, and then the applied energistics system will be able to see and access the contents of this barrel as if it belonged to it. And that way I'll be able to store a huge amount of these blaze rods without using up my space there. So if we just take a quick look at the recipes for what's involved in that. So the ME storage bus is an ME interface and some iron, and that's just a conversion matrix. It's the main thing in that. And the other thing I said was ME export, which is another ME interface. So I need two ME interfaces. I don't think I've got any of those at the moment, but it's always worth having a quick check. Nope. So I'll make two of them and craft them into the necessary items, and then we can get this set up. There we go. One ME storage bus, one ME export bus. So let me grab some spare ME cable. Right, now the first thing we're going to want to do is move that thing. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. Wrong key. Right, I need my trusty portal gun. Now I don't think it will work on that, so that thing I want to pick up with the wrench. Or the crescent hammer. There we go. So let's move this to, I want it to be not too far away from those things. So about equidistant, so it's near that. Facing the wrong way. Oh dear. It doesn't actually rotate. Tell you what, if it wants to be there and face that way, then I will just do that. Put the item tesseract back on top. Private, receive only, blaze rods, tick. Right, so that will start getting blaze rods from there. So, in order to demonstrate this properly, I want to make sure that I don't have any blaze rods in the system at the moment. Blaze rods, okay. So, no blaze rods in the system. Oh, just took out that power cable. So I need to run cabling to there. I can't run it along the wall because of that wire, so it is going to have to be underground. Can't quite work out how to get it past that cable without it getting in the way or being visible above ground. There was one idea of things I thought I could do in order to hide cabling so long as I was underground, which is just until I'm on the far side of that thing. Dig that out. And then I can put the warded stone blocks back again. Not quick enough. Still not quick enough. Still not quick enough. There we go. And that now gives me somewhere that I can dodge this cabling around there. And then it can go down onto the ground. So we'll patch the floor later. Oh, water spread. I don't think the cable cares. It will probably... There you go, it's stopping the water flow. Right. So, I need the ME storage bus, because basically I want... There we go. So, if I've understood correctly, those 58 stacks of blaze rods should now be visible in the system. And there they are, 3,000 something and 70 blaze rods. Now, one thing I really want to know is, that's 5864 plus 4. Yes. Wow. If I add blaze rods here, they actually end up in this barrel. That means it might actually be worth having barrels of cobble. So rather than this thing having to store mass items like cobble and dirt, I could just have a couple of barrels. Okay, so that now means the blaze rods are available to the system. But now I need this thing to be able to get the blaze rods. But it's relatively easy. Oops. Let me see, we're going to have a little bit of a water spill again. But it doesn't matter. So, a bit of cable. We'll go up at this point. And now here we've got the export bus. Now, it's an export bus because it's exporting from the Applied Energistics network into that thing. So I just right-hand click it with the hammer until it points the thing I want it to access. I'll tell it to work in stack mode. So there's nothing in there at the moment. And now I just need to tell it what what it's meant to be doing. Oh, I double-clicked. Did not mean to double-click. Keep pressing escape rather than inventory. It's a little annoying, and I do apologise. Okay, there's something very strange going on. You can see inventory is moving around on its own. I'm not doing it. Okay. So, by default, an export bus doesn't do anything. Always active, stack mode. But if I tell it blaze rods, there we go. So that will now keep this filled with blaze rods. And I've got a nice visual cue because I can just walk up, have a look, and I can see exactly how many blaze rods I currently have. I could hide that item tesseract in the wall there, couldn't I? By moving the watered block back one. Might do that later. Oh. I can't hide that. I need to get rid of that block there as well. Because it's a corner block, I'm going to need 2. But that isn't a problem. I've made spare for exactly this kind of thing. Break that, put that back there. See that blip? That's energy coming from the system. Because basically, those blaze rods are zipping over to the controller and then zipping back to the export bus. Because the controller's the thing which is making all the decisions. Right, so now we're going to build the heat up on that, and then we'll see how quickly it uses up blaze rods once it's at maximum temperature. While it's doing that, I want to be able to hold more than 64 stacks of blaze rods. That just isn't enough. Now, there's something called a extra dimensional storage barrel upgrade. Essentially, this means that a barrel can hold a lot more than 64 stacks of something. The downside is if you break the barrel with stuff in it, you lose anything that was stored in the extra dimension. Right, this is a couple of blaze rods, ender pearl. Dark iron ingots. Block of dark iron. Now, dark iron is not something I've messed with much. I don't think I have any dark iron. No, I've got 2 in the Chaos Star. I think because someone gifted me them. Yes, dark iron ingots. Okay. I'm just going to quickly check the wiki and find out how these things are made. Okay, it seems in order to get dark iron, you have to burn normal iron blocks with a wrath igniter. In order to make a wrath igniter, you need diamond shards, and in order to get diamond shards, you have to make a craft packet and use it in a stamping machine. So I'm going to have to make a brand new machine and some TNT and a block of diamonds in order to get the diamond shards I need for the wrath igniter, in order to get the dark iron ingots in order, for this upgrade. Of course. So I'm going to get everything together and actually make all the machines and have everything set up so we can just quickly craft everything and then make our dark iron. Okay, so I've made myself a stamper. It doesn't require any power. And I've got all the stuff I need here in order to make this craft packet thing. I'll make it here. So, apparently in order to make these things, okay, first I need to make myself the diamond block. Like so. Put that in the middle. Obsidian. I need 4 TNT. Turn on the power. 1. Really? I thought I had like 27 gunpowder somewhere. What happened to my gunpowder? Oh, 4 TNT. I'd already made the TNT. Ha! Okay. I has the dumb. I'm a little bit tired. I probably shouldn't be playing, but I want to do stuff and I want to record it so you guys can see it. Right, so craft packet. Throw this in here. And it stamps out 18 diamond shards. Now, I couldn't make less than that, even though I only really want one for now. And I combine that with some nether brick, and that gets me the Wrath Igniter. Now, this thing will burn a number of iron blocks all at once. So I want to get a good supply. I can always reclaim them and turn them back again later. So that would be, what, 40? Because you times it by 4, don't you? If I go with the stack... Oh, okay, right-hand clicking does that, but doesn't matter. Let's just go with 16 blocks of iron. Now, Wrathfire is very dangerous. It burns a lot, it spreads, it will burn almost anything. So I'm going to come out here to the island. And we're going to go out to one of these smaller ones. If the world loads. Far away from anything which is important to us. This'll do. And we're going to put down these iron blocks and set fire to them. So 4x4 should be about the right size. And I'll just right-hand click in the middle. Okay, there we go. So that is supposed to turn them into dark iron. Oh, okay, there we go. It just caught. Let's not have that selected. There we go. I have no idea what it's going to, whether it will spread to the island or whether it will go out. Apparently, once it finishes burning that, that's when normal fires might start. Yeah, there we go. And presumably I can just dig this stuff up. At this stage I've forgotten why I was making this. Oh yeah, interdimensional storage. And I can turn those into dark iron ingots. I had 2 anyway, so that's why I've got 2 extra. Perfect. There's all sorts of stuff you can do with dark iron. You can make wrath lamps. You can make interdimensional storage. I'm sure there's other stuff you can do as well with it. Dark iron. Uses. Alright, so you can make a bag of holding. Interesting. Logic matrix programmer. You can make a router. That's to do with item sorting. I probably won't need that since I'm using applied energistics. Item filter. That's a router upgrade. So there's a lot of stuff to do with routers. The barrel upgrade, which is what I'm going for, and a wrath lamp. Okay, so I can use it for the barrels and a wrath lamp. Wrath lamps essentially will light an entire room with just a single lamp. I might think about using them in the volcano lair. Okie dokie. Dimensional upgrades. Needs 4 of them, 2 blaze rods. Actually needs a barrel. Ender pearl and leather. No leather here, but I just started some cows breeding, so that won't be a problem. Blaze rods. Someone's using the farm. Oh no, that's it. Still feeding my thing. I have realised that whenever I turn off this system, I stop feeding the steam thing. So I'm trying to work out still whether or not I can just leave this system on all the time. So we'll pop over to the farm and get ourselves some leather. And of course it's night time. gunpowder. Someone killed the creeper. Right. There we go. One piece of leather. That's all I needed. I'll let the rest breed, so the babies can grow up. Here we go. One piece of leather. Bang. Extra storage dimensional thing. Now. Shift right click. There we go. This thing will now hold so many blaze rods you won't believe it. So let's make loads of blaze rods appear. Let's leave that on so it keeps feeding the thing, because we need to get it up to temperature so we can test. Right. So the first thing I'm going to do is empty some of these. That's my inventory full. And people are currently using it. Why is this... Okay, I suppose it was just there so I could find it. So it's currently at 24 stacks, and if I just add these to the system... That is so cool, the fact that it actually stores them in the barrel as well. I wasn't expecting that. I thought it would only extract from the barrel. Right, what else do I have on me that I can put away? I don't think I want to carry a rat igniter on me. That strikes me as a bit of a dangerous idea. Okay, industrial steam engines, well, both of them seem to have exactly the same efficiency, i.e. based on the amount of Minecraft joules which they output based on the steam they use is the same. Industrial steam engines, though, will produce twice as much, so you can get away with half the number of actual steam engines. The problem is these things use steel, and to make steel you need a blast furnace or something, yeah, which I currently do not have. So I'm going to go with commercial steam engines, because they just require the iron plate stuff. Now, each one of these blocks, because if you remember I've got a 9x9 times 4, each one of those will provide enough steam for half a commercial steam engine. So if I want to provide enough steam for them all, I don't want to make more than 18 18 commercial steam engines. I don't think I need to make 18 commercial steam engines. Let's just have a quick look at the recipe. So iron gears, we know how to make those. So it is just a piston, and so 3 iron plate. Each one of these outputs 4. So let's make 4 for now. So I need 12 iron plates in a rolling machine. I think that might be the right amount. One wonders whether or not my maths has gone wrong. Of course it's making 4 at a time, so this might be making 4 times the amount I need, but that doesn't matter. If I've got spare, I'm going to be adding more commercial steam engines to this at some point anyway. So, any iron plate there? Nope. Commercial steam engines. Right, I need some iron gears. So lots of iron gears. Okay, so that's made me 5. That's fine. And the liquiducts. 42 liquiducts, and I've got my crescent hammer there. So the steam comes out of up here, I believe. Is this thing at temperature yet? Nope, it's still using the blaze rods pretty quickly. Thank you for the spooky noise. I need the redstone energy conduits as well. and the redstone cube for charging. I should have 3 redstone energy cubes, shouldn't I? Am I missing one? Oh, one of them is, of course, by my quarry, which has been sat idle all this time. So, rotate those around, make sure these things are set to output. Output, output, output. On a redstone energy cube. Getting that freezing laggy thing. There's quite a few people on the server right now. Oh no, okay, there's only two people on the server right now. Right, so that is completely empty. So, what happens when I provide steam to those things? Liquiduct. Oh yeah, you shift right click with that. Okay. Okay. I'm not doing too well right now. Okay. Why did you... Okay, you connected to there and I didn't want you to. I wanted you to hook up to that thing. So I might have to come out to the side. Right, now this hasn't connected because there was steam in there already, but I think if I shift, if I click this, okay, output, no, okay, well let's just get rid of that, and hopefully when I put this in, it'll, there we go, steam, aha. I'm not sure why these things aren't filling with steam. I expected them to fill up. They might just need turning on. Let me grab a lever and some red alloy wire. I'm going to stop recording soon because that freezing stuff is starting to really annoy me. Get rid of that. Do that now. There we go. So that's those connected up, and it means I can put the flooring back. Aha! So they only draw the steam when you turn them on. And we should be able to provide enough steam for all of them. This thing's not at temperature yet, but it has some spare steam already building up. Now it's not going up continuously for some reason. I'm not sure why. These things are maybe not quite getting enough steam, so they're having trouble getting there. And that's because this thing's not actually at temperature yet. Still at 216. And this is the amount of fuel a low pressure boiler is using up. Now I wonder, there was something about there being a maximum amount of stuff that can actually flow through one of these pipes at a time. If I add a second input and actually get it to connect, ooh, I just cut off the steam. There we go. Gets there in the end. So, will that increase the amount of steam? No. Okay, things seem to be looking better here. The amount of MJs here are building up. The steam is staying about the same for them all. Now, why does that one have an arrow and that one doesn't? I think it doesn't need the arrow, so maybe that's improved things. There we go! Now both of those nozzles are actually outputting, and you can see that now we're able to provide enough steam to actually fill those things up. So I'm actually going to put a third liquid duct in here. There we go. Because, okay, I've only got five at the moment, but as I said, this thing can supply up to 18. Now we should be getting good amount of power. And this thing still isn't at full speed. Right, I'm going to stop recording now, and I'm just going to sit here and watch this, keep this thing full of blaze rods. And we'll end out the episode seeing how fast and efficient everything is once this is actually at full temperature. Actually, I've just been doing a little bit of reading and thinking about this. I probably don't need this to be that big yet, do I? If you remember, I said that each of them powered half of one of them, so I only actually need 10 of these in order to power these 5 commercial engines with the steam they need. Now, one row of it is 9, so I could half the size of this. And halving the size of it means it should heat up twice as fast. So, the only thing I'm not sure about is what effect breaking a block on a steamer that's already up and running will be. I'm hoping it will just let me shave off the top without losing everything, but I could be wrong. Okay, it's reset the temperatures, but that does mean that we get to test. This is 18. So that is enough for 9 of those guys. Interestingly, it's not importing the fuel anymore. This thing's running on electricity right now. There we go. So if this thing runs out of power, seeing as this is producing Minecraft joules and an applied energistics system can run on MJs, I am going to switch this over to run on this stuff. There we go. Well, hopefully that will reach maximum temperature twice as fast. Well, I've given up waiting for this thing to fully heat. It's almost there. It's reached 411. I suspect it's going to reach 450 or maybe 500 and then stop. Now, it is burning the blaze rods slower, but still not as slow as I was expecting. Now, I've realised that in vanilla Minecraft, blaze rods burn longer than coal. But in this, you can see that there it says the blaze rods can produce 0.8k heat, whereas coal gets 3.2k heat, and charcoal gets 1.6k heat. So blaze rods are a quarter as good as coal and half as good as charcoal. The best thing is coal coke. Now that's if you put normal coal in a coke oven and cook it up that way. So I might set up a coke oven to take the coal that I've got in here, because I've got like 2,000 coal, run it through a coke oven, and then export that to here as well, as like a backup. Now there's people using the blaze spawner up there, and at this speed I'm actually gaining blaze rods faster than I'm using them. Because this is the sort of thing which, you know, really does seem to want to just be left on. So, I've got this energy outputting to a couple of redstone energy cubes, so I've got a bit of a buffer. Then these conduits go underground and are now being used to power that. So the EU in here is now only being used to power these few machines there at the moment. And as I said, I am going to investigate, there's something called a steam turbine, which I think might let me produce EU using the steam as well. So I'm going to investigate that. I'll probably do that in between the before the next episode. So I'm probably gonna have to do quite a bit of editing on this episode, because I checked how long I've been recording for, and it's like I've got together like over an hour's footage or something, and most of that is me fumbling around because I've made the mistake of trying to build and craft on camera again. So I'll try and cut it down and keep it interesting. But there's like a basic Steam thing, but it means we've got the power. By the time we get to the next episode, hopefully I'll have it tweaked and sorted out and worked out how best to run it. And then we can actually start on the auto-enchanting for up there. Well, yeah. It's mainly the thing. The main things we're going to have to set up is we're going to have to automate the production of books. And have somewhere to store the stuff that comes from. The actual auto-enchanting bit itself is relatively simple, especially because I'm going to steal the programming code for the turtle that's going to do the auto-enchanting from a website. I'm a programmer. You don't reinvent the wheel. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.